Hello, my name is Rebecca Blackburn, and I will be speaking to you on why I feel like recycling should be mandatory in the United States. Here's my audience. There's Nikki, there's Jesse, and Joey's recording. Recycling is the process of converting waste materials into new materials and objects. Would you rather live on a beautiful planet with no pollutants? Well, or would you rather live on a filthy planet where you can't even breathe fresh air? I'll let you decide. Recycling takes little effort, but makes a big impact. Do you enjoy swimming at the beach? Well, did you know by 2050 there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish? I'll let that sink in. Well, if more people just started recycling today, we will be able to clear the beaches and not put any more waste out there. Why is there a lot of waste in the ocean? It's because people like to use disposable water bottles, straws, plastic bags, and other stuff, which that's not a bad thing. If people just recycle these things, it would help all around. I'm going to be discussing statistics and facts about why recycling not only makes for a better home for us now, but for future generations to come. What are recyclable materials? Well, I'll tell you. Paper and wood. This saves trees and forests. You can plant new trees anywhere, but you can't replace the ecosystems that lived in the forests, like the rainforests. You can't just replace those. Plastic. If we recycle plastic, that plastic could be used to make the new plastic materials, and it won't. The earth will be less polluted because making new plastic causes emissions into the atmosphere, which is pollution, which causes climate change. Metals. I didn't know you could recycle metals, but you can. And there won't be no need to mine new metal ores if you just recycle your old metals. Glass. I didn't know you could recycle this either. It reduces the need to use sand and other raw materials from the planet, which we are running low on, if you just recycle your glass. Recycling helps to save our natural resources and wildlife, which I kind of already spoke about. Recycling reduces the need to destroy animal habitats like rainforests and other places like that. And did you know recycling paper saves millions of trees a year? Yeah. Did you know plastics in the ocean are killing thousands of ocean animals every year? I already spoke about the ocean, the plastic. Well, there is even a Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is a large trash pile in our ocean, which filled with recyclable materials, but nobody is going out there to clean it up. How do we keep trash away from our oceans? Well, recycle. That's number one. And use reusable straws and bottles and grocery bags so they will stay away from the ocean. If we don't make a change, we won't have oceans to go to and clean air to breathe. Did you know that recycling also saves energy? Producing new aluminum from recycled aluminum materials cuts energy costs by 95%. That's a lot of energy. Paper is cut by 40% when it's made with recycled paper. Recycling one glass bottle can power a light bulb for 4 hours. Recycling cuts climate changing carbon emissions. Those are the bad things. That if we have carbon emissions, climate change. With climate change, we have less water resources because the earth is heating up and it's evaporating. Less energy means lower carbon emissions, which is good. So if you're recycling, that's saving energy, which in turn cuts carbon emissions. Recycling also keeps methane-releasing waste out of landfills, which is carbon emissions. It's bad for the planet. Reducing carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases from being emitted into the atmosphere is from recycling, which is vital for fighting climate change. So, keeping all that crap out of the landfill is good for us. Recycle! Recycling reduces landfill waste. The most obvious. Did you know it takes 1,000 years for plastic to decompose? Yeah. So with billions of plastic bottles that are already in our landfills, that's 1,000 years plus some, because plastic was invented in the 1900s. How do we live sustainably? You use reusable bottles and straws and grocery bags. And recycle, of course. Go to your local recycling center and see what you can recycle there. There may be things you didn't know you could recycle. Now, for some facts. Can you bring the camera over here, sir? It's kind of blurry, but did you know recycling newspaper could save up to 250 billion trees each year? That's a lot of trees. And right here, it says one bottle takes 4,000 years to decompose. That's a long time. And right here, it says we generate 21.5 million tons of food waste every year. That's a lot. And right here, it says 3 to 15% of what we throw away contains hazardous substances, which carbon emissions, which climate change. So no good. Here's another one. Here are some numbers when it comes to recycling. 1 is the number of trees you can save by recycling a 3-foot stack of newspaper. 3 hours you can power a TV with the electricity saved by recycling a single aluminum can. 4 hours you can power a light bulb, which we already talked about, with 1 glass bottle recycled. And the list goes on. There is no bad things when it comes to recycling. So, that'll be all today, but I hope I gave you some facts on why you should recycle.